When we think of AI, we usually think of science fiction, right? But the truth is, it's not some far-off future thing anymore. It's right here in your pocket, and it's starting to change one of the most important parts of our lives, our money. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how this tech can actually work for you. I want you to just think about this for a second. What if your bank account wasn't just a list of numbers on a screen? What if it actually had a brain? A brain that was working for you 24/7, spotting patterns in your spending, finding little opportunities to save, and just actively helping you get where you want to go financially. Well, that is the big promise of AI in personal finance. All right, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at how AI even connects with your wallet in the first place. Then we'll dive into how it can make your day-to-day money management way smarter. After that, we'll talk about future-proofing your investments. And finally, and this is super important, we'll cover the risks and rewards you really need to know about. Okay, first up, what are we really talking about here? Let's forget all the complex code and servers for a moment. I want you to think of it more like this. You're hiring a super smart personal financial assistant who works just for you, around the clock, and never takes a coffee break. Now, the two most important words on this slide are learn and automatically. See, here's the magic. Unlike a simple calculator that just does what you tell it, these AI tools actually pay attention. They start to recognize your patterns, your habits. They figure out what's normal for you, and then they start working in the background to help you make smarter choices, all without you having to manually track every single penny. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does this actually become a tool you can use every single day? This is where AI stops being a cool concept and starts becoming a real, tangible upgrade to your financial life. We have all been there, right? You get to the end of the month, you pull up your bank statement, and you just have this sinking feeling of, where did it all go? You know you spent it, but trying to remember on what? It's just frustrating. Well, that whole manual, confusing process is the old way of doing things. But here is the upgrade. Instead of you doing all that tedious work, the AI does it for you. It securely scans your transactions, and then it automatically figures out, okay, that was groceries, that was for gas, oh, and that was that streaming subscription you totally forgot about. It just puts everything into these neat little categories for you. And just like that, you have a crystal clear picture of your finances. And this is what you get. I mean, look at this. Instead of some messy spreadsheet or pile of receipts you have to sort through, you get a simple visual breakdown like this. You can see at a single glance, okay, here's food, here's rent, here's fun. You know exactly where your money is going. And that makes it so much easier to decide where you want it to go next month. And, it goes way beyond just budgeting. These tools can get pretty clever. They can find what I call hidden money, like by rounding up your purchases to the nearest dollar and sweeping that spare change into your savings. They can look at all your debts and suggest the absolute smartest way to pay them down faster. And they can even act like a little watchdog, flagging things like duplicate charges or weird fees that you might have totally missed. All right, so that's the day-to-day stuff handled. But what about the bigger picture, the long game? Let's talk about how AI is completely breaking open the world of investing, making it something that's accessible to literally everyone, not just some exclusive club. Think about it. The old school way of investing often meant paying really high fees, relying on a human advisor's gut feeling, or even their biases, and honestly, the whole process just felt intimidating. But the new school, powered by these AI tools called robo-advisors, flips that whole script. The fees are way lower, the decisions are based on cold, hard data and algorithms, not emotion, and you can do the whole thing from a simple app on your phone. It's a game changer. Now, this all sounds pretty fantastic, doesn't it? But, and this is a big but, with any powerful new tool, you absolutely need to read the user manual. So let's get real for a minute and look at both the risks and the rewards so you can use these tools smartly and, more importantly, safely. So here's the bottom line. For every great feature, there's a risk you need to be aware of and a smart move you can make. That hyper-personalization is amazing, right? But the risk is that your financial data becomes the product. The smart move? Get in there and actually review the privacy settings. And those automated decisions are super convenient, but guess what? Algorithms can make mistakes. So the smart move is to set alerts and check in on what it's doing regularly. Remember, you are still the CEO of your money. So let's just boil it down to the 3 biggest mistakes you want to avoid. Number 1, blindly trusting every single recommendation. Remember, it's a powerful tool, not a crystal ball. Number 2, ignoring the privacy policy. You really need to know how your data is being handled. And number 3, Probably the biggest temptation of all is to just set it and forget it completely. You've got to stay engaged. Feeling ready to maybe dip your toes in the water? Here is a safe way to start. Please don't jump in and connect your entire life savings on day one. Just pick one app for one simple goal, like budgeting. Connect only one bank account just to test it out and see how you like it. Then set a reminder in your phone to check in on it once a month. And before you do any of that, always read the How It Works section so you actually understand the logic behind its suggestions. And that really brings us to the final question. As this technology gets more and more powerful, this is the question we're all going to have to answer for ourselves. The goal isn't to just hand over the keys and let an algorithm take over. It's about figuring out how you can partner with it, how you can use it as a tool to build the financial future that you actually want. It's a lot to think about. Thanks so much for joining me today.